So if we don't reach our goal, we get nothing. And that's because we're confident that we're going to reach our goal. We know that there's a demand for this. We know that people want to see this. And the other thing about Kickstarter is they're very strict about the rewards you give out. You can't just kind of make stuff up. You have to. They hold you accountable for it, and you're only able to give out rewards that you produce. So because we're producing an event, our main Kickstarter reward is tickets to the event, and we're pricing it pretty lower than we were planning to for the event. So right now, like at the $15 level, you can get a day pass to FanQuest. $25 level is a weekend pass. We're not trying to do a tiered. We do have a VIP option that nobody's really gotten into yet, but hopefully someone will buy it. It's a $500 for the VIP. And what you get with that is you get pretty much everything included, as well as like a sit-down dinner with all of our guests on the Sunday evening. And that's kind of something we had planned from the get-go, so we want to kind of have a little more of an intimate chance. So you can sit down with like the celebrity or whoever it is, and we'll sit down, have dinner, have a nice conversation, and that's it. Nothing weird. no. But it's a little more relaxed and not as awkward sometimes as just getting an autograph. And that's $500. The biggest reward right now is the $1,000 level, and what we're doing for that is basically if you donate $1,000, not only do you get all the access stuff to FanQuest, and included in that are posters, T-shirts, buttons, all the other stuff that we have giving away. You at $1,000, you get to pick one of the guests. So basically, let me ask you, who would you want to bring in? Anybody?
Holy smokes, that's actually a really tough one.
I'll ask you then. Because you have the other. No, ask both you guys. Who would you want to bring? If you were like in charge of this and you were running this, who would you want to bring in to a con like this?
You know what? I mean, I think for me, one of the guys I was really interested in, maybe this is just because he, wasn't, he had to, he was supposed to come to C4 a couple of years ago, and because of family issues, he never made it. Okay. Ray Park. Who played Darth Maul.
That would be awesome.
He would be someone that I would, up there on the top of my list.
I'm writing that down. We're going to contact Ray Park. Say you want a Ray Park and you donated at the $1,000 level. So we go ahead and we go, okay, Ray Park, let's go and get him. And we get into contact with his agent and we try to negotiate. And now the $1,000 doesn't pay for Ray Park, but it pays for, basically it allows you to say, hey, I get to bring in Ray Park, who we really want to meet, and you also get a chance you also get the VIP dinner where you sit down with Ray Park and all that other stuff. So that's the $1,000. I imagine Ray Park would be quite a bit more. Although I don't even know if he does cons. I guess he was supposed to come here for C4.
He was. Okay. I'm trying to remember. It was quite a while ago. I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago, if memory serves me correctly. At the last minute, he had to go off in to cancel out because there was, I believe, a family emergency.
That's too bad.
I know another year, originally, C4 was going to bring in Jake Lloyd, who played Anakin Skywalker in the first Star Wars movie. The issues there was a change in ownership. C4 briefly was owned by
Wizard World.
Wizard
World? Yeah,
Wizard World,
yeah.
And that they just changed everything at that point until C4 kind of took control of themselves again. But yeah, I don't know so much about Jake Lloyd. I'd love to meet Jake Lloyd, but
let me ask you this: would you be interested in meeting Hayden Christensen?
I would be, actually.
Apparently, these are the kind of conversations we have internally in the group. And we have a wish list of guests, right? We have these guests and we know that we're starting out small, so we're not going to be able to get these guys in the first year. We have to prove ourselves. A lot of cons start up and then fail. So we have to really prove ourselves and have a successful event before anybody's going to really take us seriously.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But we are bouncing ideas around. We're like, what about Hayden Christensen? I just watched on my podcast on Star Wars Nerds. We watched the prequels leading up to Rogue One, and I hadn't seen the prequels in probably 10 years. And I was like, they're awful, they're horrible movies, and they kind of are. But the third one's pretty good. The third one's pretty good.
Third one is by far the best of the three.
But I can't stand Attack of the Clones is my least favorite of all those. That one really bugs me.
It's for me, it's kind of a toss up between that and Phantom Menace. Yeah,
It usually is.
all three of them look better to me when I kind of picture Jar Jar Binks as, a Sith. Makes it all a little better.
That's funny. Yeah, I've heard that theory. So anyway, what was I talking about? I was talking about guests. So say you want, back to Ray Park. So you want Ray Park, you do only $1,000, we try and get Ray Park. Now, for some reason, if Ray Park is not available, or he doesn't want to come, we can't force people to come, right? So whatever, we can't get Ray Park. Okay, who's the next person on your list?
Well then, let's go Hayden Christensen.
Hayden Christensen. Okay, so we go ahead, we try Hayden Christensen. Okay, we can't get Hayden Christensen. He's not available, he's shooting something, or doesn't want to come. Who's next?
Oh dear God! Now you're making me. Billy D. Williams.
Oh, I think he's been here, but
he was.
And
my biggest regret is that I could not get here when he was available.
Oh, that's too bad.
That broke my heart.
I would love to meet Billy D. Williams. One of the things we're also looking at is not bringing in guests that have already been here for other cons.
Okay.
So we're really trying to not have repeat people back. Not for a while, anyway, right? We want to give people a chance to meet somebody new. So then we get Billy D. Williams. Success! We've got Billy D. Williams.
Woo!
He's coming in. Boom, there's your reward. But the point is that it doesn't go, it's not like we can't guarantee that we can get Ray Park. All we'll do is really, really try. And then basically, until you're happy. It's the whole point of Kickstarter is that you get the reward and you have to be happy with your reward. If you're not, you can complain to Kickstarter and they can shut us down. That's exactly what happens. It's how Kickstarter holds people accountable. So I shouldn't say that out loud. I shouldn't say that. No, anyway, but it has to be reasonable, right? Like, basically, they have to look at the wording of what we're promising. We're going to, we have to deliver on our rewards. So there's the other one. And then we have the other rewards. We have them going from, there's $5 you just donate, you get mentioned as a thank you. We're going to do a big kind of a mural with everybody's name who donated. And that's going to be up at Fanquest. And it's going to be on our website and on our social media. I think $10 is our button, our founder button. So it's just a little button that you get saying, I was there at the beginning of FanQuest. I helped to start FanQuest. Everybody at the $10 level and up gets that. And then everything else is pretty much just tickets. So that's kind of what we're doing for FanQuest. Oh, and sorry, there's one more. At the $100 level, creators, so people who want to get a table at FanQuest to sell things, can get their table for $100.
And that's actually something that we've done.
Oh, yes, yeah. So you guys are going to have a table there, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And that'll get you guys, and that's a great thing for you guys to do because it gets you in front of people and lets more people know about your podcast and where to find it and all that other stuff. So it helps you, that's marketing your brand, which is awesome.
It was definitely our plan, our kind of way to kickstart things.
No. And I mean, I've been podcasting for a long time as well, and I understand you have to really kind of work at it. There are a lot of podcasts out there, but I love it. I love that there are so many podcasts. But you really have to kind of work at the marketing side to get people to listen, right? Because there's so much out there, for sure.
Okay, so I guess. Okay, so have you guys got booked any guests yet? I guess
Not
that's the
yet.
Okay.
Well, we're very close, and I can't say who's coming. What I can say is I can tell you who's said no not because they don't want to do it, but just because of conflict of schedule. And that's a cool thing because we're actually getting, we started doing this, like I said, we launched a month ago. We started doing this Kickstarter. We're now reaching out to people, and we're getting, legit replies back. So people are taking us seriously. It's not like they're just kind of looking at, you wouldn't even bother replying to anybody if it looks like it's a joke, right? So, So we are presenting ourselves properly. I first approached Pablo Hidalgo. Do you guys know who that is? Where's Fan? You should know who he is.
That name sounds very familiar. I'm just...
Pablo Hidalgo is a member of the Lucasfilm Story Group. So this is the Central Brain Trust at Lucasfilm.
Oh, okay.
That kind of monitors. They know everything. And Pablo is from Winnipeg, by the way.
Oh.
And he was here a few years ago at C4, but he was kind of buried in Artist Alley. And I always kind of wanted to... I wish he had more of a... But the problem with a guest like that is he's not necessarily a celebrity because he's not in the movies, although he is in Revenge of the Sith. But he's just got a little bit part where he's walking by. But he is the man is a Star Wars genius. He knows absolutely everything. He is their guy. He is Lucasfilm's Star Wars expert. So just think of that. About that. He's the guy that Lucasfilm trusts with everything. So he we reached out to him. We'd love to have him in. And here I'll tell you what some of the stuff we were going to do with him. The reason he can't come. Okay, so our thing is on May 27th, right? Is our day?
Yeah.
The 40th anniversary of Star Wars is May 25th.
Yeah, that
he's going to be busy.
Yeah, I was just thinking when.
So they're going to be doing stuff,
yeah.
right? So that's why he can't come. So fine, we'll get him back in next year. But he was very happy. He's like, I would love to come. Plus, it gives him a chance to meet with his family, visit his family who still live in Winnipeg. So, what we're going to do with Pablo, something like, I was Stump, you guys, there was a show called Stump the Schwab. Do you remember that? It's like a trivia show, and the deal, it's kind of a reverse trivia show.
There's been several different versions of that concept of it.
Beat the Geeks.
Right? Beat the Geeks.
Right.
That you're up my alley on that one. Now, before we get any further, my wife actually wanted me to mention on the last week's podcast, which I never did, but I actually knew more Star Wars stuff at that point than the Star Wars geek did on that show.
Well, you sound like you'd be a good candidate for what we had planned to do with Pablo, which is like beat the Star Wars geek or whatever. So, and because Pablo knows everything about Star Wars, so you have to come up with a question that you think will stump him. And if you can, then you win something, you win a prize.
I just would like to ask him how many toes exactly does Yoda have, because...
He probably, I think 3. Doesn't he have 3?
It was interesting. I was watching a YouTube video on it yesterday, and depending on the image of Yoda, he had anything from having 3 to 5 toes. 3 in the front, 2 in the back. Depending on which version of it. So it'd be kind of nice to know exactly how many toes does he really have.
I bet you Pablo gets questions like that all the time, and he would, I'm sure, know the answer to that. So that was one of the things. The other thing we thought would be fun to do is have him do, like, we would screen Revenge of the Sith, because that's the one he's in. He was also, by the way, the official blogger for Lucasfilm during the prequels, episodes 2 and 3. So he was on set and blogging on StarWars.com about what was happening behind the scenes. So he was there throughout making those 2 films. And so we would have him do sit there with a microphone. We watch the movie together in a theater, and he just kind of does commentary, like, "Oh yeah, this is when this happened," and just let us know some inside stuff about that. I thought that would be fun. So those are just some of the ideas we thought about interactive fan experiences with somebody like Pablo Hidalgo. The other guy we approached and couldn't get back to us was Ernest Cline, and he's an author. He wrote Ready Player One.
Okay.
I'm reading it right now again for the 10th time. It's a phenomenal book. And it's being adapted into a film next year. Steven Spielberg's directing, and they said, would you like to come? What would be involved? And they said, well, thank you very much for the offer. He's in writing mode this year and is not doing any convention experiences. Yeah. So he's hopefully writing a sequel to Ready Player One. I'm really hoping, because it's a great book. Anyway, that was another one we were looking at. So we've had quite a few people, decline based on scheduling reasons. Nobody has said, no, you guys are lame.
Well, that's good.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
So,
or on
whatever this is.
Cardboard.
Yeah.
Cardboard.
Fake wood.
Fake wood. I should take a picture, because we're actually talking around a Cars table with Lightning McQueen and Tomater on it.
Chow. What does he say?
I don't even know anymore.
I don't remember his name. I don't remember. I was on TV the other night. My kids don't really like that movie anymore. Done.
I've watched it so many times. I really.
And the scary thing is that they're coming out with the 3rd movie for.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
So.
All right. What else you guys got for me?
Well, we've actually kind of blown through our questions, which is no real surprise.
Yeah.
And so I think we're going to kind of go through kind of some of our more silly questions.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we got time here. Why not?
Sure.
Okay, so I guess first question, and this is coming from an obvious Star Wars geek here. If you could have any profession in the Star Wars universe, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good question. I kind of like Cantina Bartender. I kind of like that guy in the beginning of the first movie. He's like, "You can't bring those guys in." His name's Wooher, by the way. He is the bartender in.
I actually forgot. Yeah, that name. Yeah.
And I kind of like the idea of working in a cantina and seeing all the different aliens and everybody coming through and cleaning up after them when they shoot each other, and that seems like a lot of fun, I think. So that's what I would go with.
I guess before we go any further, what do you think of the fact that the original expanded universe is all but gone?
It's not gone. It's still there. It's just not canon, and I'm okay with that. It was never canon. It was. I see. Here's the thing. I read, back in the day, the Timothy Zahn trilogy, which is the Heir to the Empire.
Yes.
Which is the first ones to come out after the movies, right? So this is the first officially kind of licensed Lucasfilm novels, but they were not created by Lucasfilm. Timothy Zahn wrote it. And then that kind of started this whole thing, because they never planned on making any other movies at that time. So they allowed authors to write Star Wars novels and comic books and all the other stuff that came out. And I loved it, but I never ever thought that George Lucas would ever make a movie out of Heir to the Empire. I thought that, and he said that in some interview I saw with him, where he's like, "No, I'll just do my own thing," and he did. He went and did his own thing with the prequels. So to me, they're still there. I can still enjoy them. They're just not part of the overall